First line of immunity, right? So in previous video I discussed about that what is immunity. We discussed about innate immunity and acquired immunity, right? So let's discuss that what is the first line of immunity. Like there are three lines of immunity. Consider that, okay, there is a pathogen. Consider that this is a pathogen, right? Consider that this is a virus, right? And it enters into body. So basically when it enters into a body, there are three basic lines, defense lines basically, that protect our body from that pathogen, right? This is first line, this is second line, and this is third line, right? So basically there are three lines of defense or lines of immunity that protect our body from these harmful pathogens and viruses, bacteria, and all that, right? So now let's discuss about the first line of immunity. Basically, in this line of immunity, we will discuss about the physical barriers, and biochemical barriers. Basically, what are these? Okay, we have discussed this thing in, okay, it's there. So basically, we have discussed this thing in my previous video too, that what are physical barriers and what are biochemical barriers. Basically, biochemical barriers are the physiological barriers, right? Actually, these are the secretions. For example, we have HCl, we have mucus, we have our digestive juices, right? These all are what? These are physiological barriers, right? These are biochemical barriers, right? We have lysozyme which is present in our saliva. So these are biochemical barriers, or it is also known as chemical weapons, right? So the first line of immunity basically comprised of physical barrier and biochemical barriers. Now, in this first line of immunity, the first thing comes is skin. Like this is the biggest, this is the largest organ in our body. This skin basically, this skin is the largest organ in our body, and like it is making the whole outermost covering of our body. So it is what? It is largest body part, or you can say largest organ, right? It is largest organ of our body, right? Its main function is to protect our body, to protect our body. Like it is making the outermost covering. There is outermost covering, right? So basically it comprises of 1.8 meters square, or it covers 1.8 meters squares of space of our body, and it makes 15%, it makes 15% weight of our body, right? This skin makes 15% weight of our body. This is very important thing. You should remember these both, right? Now where were we? Okay, there are actually, this skin is basically multitasking organ. Like it has a lot of functions. Multitasking organ. It is multitasking organ. Like, it has a lot of functions. For example, thermoregulation is also done by this organ, right? Thermoregulation. Then we have osmoregulation, right? Basically the skin has a lot of role, but here we have to discuss the role according to the defense system, right? Now basically this skin is a reservoir for what? For vitamin D. Basically stores vitamin it stores vitamin D, basically, which helps in the calcification of bones, which helps in the calcification of bones. This vitamin D helps us in the calcification of bones, right? Then we have which is basically there are a lot of functions of skin, right? So actually this also help us in changing the flow of blood, basically in the peripheral circulation. Like what is the peripheral circulation? Basically changing the flow of blood, changing the flow of blood. For example, it's this cold season and you're feeling cold, right? So what will happen, your hair, like the on your skin there are several hair, so your hair will erect. So this is just because of peripheral circulation which is performed by skin. And for example, if it's hot season and you're feeling very warm, right? So what will happen, your hair will lay down in order to, like, in order to make the heat escape from the body, in order to, like, they want these the function of the skin is like the function is thermoregulation, to basically regulate the temperature. So what will happen when the hair will lay down, the extra heat energy it will escape from our body. And what will happen in the cold season, if your hair get erect, so it means the hair are actually basically trapping the heat energy towards your body, so in order to keep you warm. So this is known as peripheral circulation. This is known as peripheral circulation. This is done by skin, right? So basically skin faces a lot of hazards, right? It's mostly in contact with the environment. It's in contact with environment. They are in contact with environment, right? Then basically our skin has certain reflexes too. It has reflexes. How we know that, like, if you know, in on our, like, inside our skin there are certain receptors too. They are basically sensory neurons are present, or you can say receptors are present in our body to basically sense, for to basically to detect the stimuli, right? Detect the stimuli. So these are the basic functions of skin. In my next video we'll be discussing about the structure of skin and all the important points related to that. So I hope this is clear to you. If you have any kind of query, you can ask me in the comment section. I'll be very glad to answer you guys.